Deputy Seán Kyne is the next question.
Minister, can I ask in relation to the context of investment in vehicles and information technology if members of the Garda Síochána are adequately resourced to facilitate mobile policing with particular relevance to the rural areas and also areas where there's high levels of activity and tourism within the summer months?
Come out, Minister.
Thank you, Deputy Kyne. Well, we have invested, as you know, nearly 29 million in new Garda vehicles, which is a massive increase on that which was given previously, the 4.8 million. 370 new Garda vehicles have come on stream since the beginning of this year, and we've recently sanctioned, I've sanctioned 700,000 for the purchase of new specialised responses vehicles to support Gardaí in reacting to current and emerging crime threats, including those committed by highly mobile gangs. Clearly, this is increasingly an issue in this country where mobile gangs move into an area. And as I said already, the best way for the Gardaí to respond to these is obviously to have the resources they need to have that mobile response in interrupting these crimes. They have a very high success rate in terms of apprehending these people in burglaries, for example. But what has been brought to my attention is the need for a stronger sanction in relation to such crimes, and as you know, I am introducing a stronger legislation in relation to bail for people who are serial offenders, because it is my view that serious and serial offending has to be dealt with by imprisonment. That's the reality of serious and serial offending. And also I have said that there can be consecutive sentencing as opposed to sentencing at the same time for these offences. Clearly, it is an operational matter quite how the resources of the Garda Síochána are allocated at any one particular time. In relation to resources for the Gardaí, I would say that one of the big gaps that have never been dealt with in this country is the question of appropriate ICT for Garda Síochána. And this government has taken action and will be responding to the Garda Inspector's report. I've been working with Minister Howlin in relation to appropriate levels of investment on Garda Síochána in relation to ICT, because you will get more effective rostering, you will get more effective operational decisions being taken when you have the ICT in place to support effective policing.
Thank you, Deputy Seán Kyne.
Thank you, Minister, for your response, and I certainly welcome your commitment in relation to ICT and also in relation to the stronger sanctions for bail, in relation to bail and serial offenders. I also welcome the commitment of both yourself and your predecessor in relation to the investment in the Garda Síochána, in relation to the reopening at Templemore, the new recruits, some 550 now in training, and also in relation to the investment in Garda cars. In rural areas, obviously, the visibility of Garda is hugely important, and the presence of a Garda car or Garda cars in a locality is hugely important to the making people feel that there is an effective police presence and that they are more secure in their homes, particularly for elderly people. So I certainly welcome the investment. I think that there needs to be a continuous investment in Garda vehicles and in Garda resources, because particularly in the rural areas it's hugely important for peace of mind of those communities. Can I ask you, Minister, in terms of the regular meetings that you might have with the Garda Commissioner or Assistant Commissioners, do you get down in relation to the Garda divisional levels, the nitty-gritty in relation to recruits, in relation to areas that concerns might be brought to your attention in relation to areas that would benefit from more recruits or vehicles?
Minister.
Well, I do want to make the point that the deployment of Gardaí in particular areas is very much an operational issue for the Garda Commissioner, but of course I do bring to her attention concerns that are highlighted to me about particular areas, but it is an operational decision as to where Gardaí are allocated. I do understand the point you're making about rural communities, and I would want to say to you that there is no way that the change, if you like, in policing, the focus on more mobile units, that is in no way to detract from community policing. Community policing is absolutely essential in urban and rural areas, and the Gardaí are committed to that. But given the changing nature of criminal activity, clearly the Gardaí have to be very agile in responding to the type of crime we're seeing now. I've been very impressed with what communities are doing in rural areas, and I've met many in the course of the past year where, for example, there's great community involvement in working with the Gardaí, with the text alert system. That is being very effective in many rural communities. So I do want to reassure you, Deputy Kyne, that there is as much a focus as ever on community policing in the rural context, but the way in which it is being done has changed. And the Gardaí have been given the resources, as I say, to respond in a more agile way to the crimes that are being committed by these very mobile gangs.
Thank you very much.